name is Andrea.
I go by the name Agnieszka.
So my name is Rotenberg.
My name is Tasha.
I identify as being Anishinaabe, Aboriginal, Jamaican, and Newfie Canadian.
And I am male, even though I don't look it. But anyway, and how I identify, besides being male, is Aboriginal and also spiritual.
I'm a Jewish person, which to me means being a part of both a people and a culture, and also involved in religious life that's connected to the Jewish tradition.
I'm half native, Anishinaabe, and half Croatian, and I live in Toronto, and I'm a woman. So I identify as all of those things.
My Anishinaabe name is Little Rainbow Woman, and I feel that that exactly portrays who I am. I'm a rainbow. I'm from many nations.
What it means to me to be Aboriginal and spiritual, though, is to be more of like someone who is teaching kindness and respect mainly. You're supposed to be able to listen to what everyone is telling you in order to understand them better.
My name, Aaron, comes from the priest Aaron in the Bible, who is also known as somebody who was a pursuer of peace. I also think that's an important part of Jewish identity to me. And of understanding the connectedness of us in the world.
What it means to me to be native and half native living in the city is meaning that we have a small community here, and it means being part of a community, and it can be a little bit confusing to be coming from two completely different cultural backgrounds. Being Aboriginal is about learning about my culture, reconnecting with that, and being a part of my community.
I guess it's hard for me. I don't really necessarily like to classify myself in a category, but I would call myself a Judeo-Christian. And it's interesting because a lot of the traditions that are associated with that are also very closely linked to Aboriginal culture.
I try to smile every day, even when someone's looking really, really grumpy. I'll just be like, hi, and then they'll look at me, or I try to look at the positive thing out of everything, even if it seems really dark at the time. Because sometimes people just need that smile, sometimes people just need that different perspective, and in that way I find it a very good way to be traditional that way.
We have what are called mitzvot, which are sort of opportunities for connection, and they involve all sorts of things like giving to others, which is tzedakah. The value of tzedakah is sometimes defined as charity, but really it's the Hebrew root is justice.
I would practice with those kinds of traditions, like Christmas and Easter and those kinds of things. But with being Aboriginal, we also get to do other traditions that are fun, like powwow and different crafts and learning about our culture and teachings, and those things help us to reconnect with our culture and enforce our identity and make our identity stronger.
Well, I think spirituality is something that is natural and innate in all human beings. It's also something that isn't necessarily, it's through faith, and faith is something that you can't physically see, but you know that is there. So for me, spirituality is just something that I know is within me and within all of humanity.
I define spirituality as your own personal view on it. You can either be someone who's manipulative or someone who's understanding. Either way is not technically wrong, because you're still yourself. I believe you're supposed to be yourself all the time.
So for me, spirituality is connection with the divine. And that connection is really the connection of all things. It's the way that I connect with other people, the way I connect with the world, the way I sort of understand myself. And a lot of the language I use to describe those connections are Jewish language and a Jewish frame but they're really things that feel very universal.
Well, for me, spirituality means more than just religion. It means believing in a higher power and believing that that we're all connected in some way. I don't